Hi, my name is Ethan Hemwood, and for my fourth quarter book, I read Guns, Germs, and Steel, The Fates of Human Societies. I got a little script I'm about to read, so I don't have to come up with it. Guns, Germs, and Steel was written by Jared Diamond in 1997. A little bit about the author. Jared Diamond is an American geographer, historian, and professor of geography at UCLA. He's known for his works in multiple disciplines, including biology, ecology, and anthropology. Diamond has received several awards for his writing, including the Pulitzer Prize. His broad scientific background helps him connect ideas across different fields to explain human history in new ways. His writing often focused on the impact of the environment and geography on societies. Guns, Germs, and Steel is his most well-known work, and it has been translated into over 30 languages. That's awesome. So a little summary about the book. In Guns, Germs, and Steels, Diamond argues that the geography, not race or intelligence, determines which societies advance more rapidly. Societies that had access to domesticable plants, animals, developed agriculture, which led to food surpluses, population growth, and complex societies. Geographic features allowed some regions to share innovations more easily, especially across east-west axis like Eurasia. The development of writing, technology, and centralized governments followed, giving these societies advantages in conquest and colonization. Germs from domesticated animals also played a key role. Societies exposed to these diseases developed immunities, which devastated indigenous populations when Europeans expanded. Diamond explains how environmental luck shaped the global balance of power. His central claim is that inequity between societies is rooted in environmental differences, not culture or biological superiority. Great. Love that. So, for my first quote, I have, quote, "Not until the beginning of the 20th century did Europe, urban's population finally become self-sustaining. Before then, constant immigration of healthy peasants from the countryside was necessary to make up for the constant death of city dwellers from crowd disease." And so basically this quote is stating how dangerous city life was and how unhygienic and dirty these cities were for these, I guess, poor people that had to live in them. And it seems that they were just dying off one by one because they lived in this dirty and disgusting city that would just like get a hold of them and kill them through disease and whatnot. And so they would have to bring in more and more people from the countryside just to keep up with it all. And so it just shows how disease plays a major role in shaping human societies and whatnot. It's pretty awesome. And then my second quote: "With the rise of chiefdoms around 7,500 years ago, people had to learn for the first time in history how to encounter strangers regularly without attempting to kill them." It again just shows how human societies began to change as they grew larger and more complex. I'm just going to read this. "Before chiefdoms, people mostly lived in small groups where everyone knew each other. Where populations expanded, people had to interact with strangers more often, which could be dangerous. Learning how to live peacefully with unfamiliar people was a new and important social skill. It allowed for trade, cooperation, and the growth of organized communities." Diamond uses this movement in history to highlight how social behaviors had to evolve alongside political structures. The rise of chiefdoms marked a turning point where peaceful interactions became just as important as physical strength. Yeah, basically saying working together as communities and living in a giant city, like you'd have to be comfortable living around people you didn't know, and it marked a changing point in society in which people had to adapt to their new surroundings. Overall, I think it's a good book. I mean, I like history. It's about history. It's about, I guess, the human history and how we got here. So, I mean, it marks important historical feats for the human society as a whole and how we became to the civilization we are today. I'm happy this is my last book talk because I don't like doing these. Thank you.